Earlier on to WBA heavyweight champion David Haye, and he slightly changed his tone. He said, you know what, Steve? He said, I've got to use my brain. He said, it's going to be a hard fight because big Audley Harrison, he's tall, he knows how to use his jab, he knows how to control things, he dictates things. He's what we call a bully in the ring. It doesn't mean he's a bully, it means he tries to bully people and then he takes control. And that was good because there was a lot of stuff said the other day that wasn't particularly pleasant, and well, wasn't really, no need for it. Saying that, it does generate excitement, and I'm told the tickets are nearly gone. And I'm delighted to say that I managed to give Audley the wrong number for the last 20 minutes. I've sent him the right number, and he's on the line now. Big Audley, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How we doing?
Yeah, fantastic. Sorry for keeping you waiting with the numbers.
No problem.
David was on the show at the top of the hour, and he was basically praising you, saying that, you know, he's got to be very careful of your big jab and your size. At last, a bit of praise, a faint bit of praise, Audley.
Wow.
Well, that's
good.
That's what he
good.
said.
Right. Well, the reality is, you know, I think everyone knows what David brings to the table. He's got good speed, he's got a big punch, and you know, he doesn't like to get hit clean. And I think everyone knows that I've got a decent enough jab, and I've definitely got a left hand that, if it lands with David Haye's chin, I think the result will be Audley Harrison heavyweight champion as well. And I'm definitely planning to land my left hand on his chin at some point.
Oh, well, it seems to me, from talking to him there and from listening to him at the press conference on Tuesday, it seems to me that David's convinced that even if he doesn't hit you on the chin, you will not be able to stick with him at the pace he sets. Is that something, you know, that you think is semi-justified, or do you think that's you know, that's nonsense?
No, I'm going to catch up with David Haye. I'm going to catch him up. Obviously, he starts fast, but you remember, for a heavyweight, I'm a quick heavyweight. I'm not a slow heavyweight like a Michael Grant, as you've seen with the Adam fight. I'm not that kind of heavyweight. I'm a thinking fighter, and I set a lot of traps, and at some point David's going to fall into my trap. He's going to have to take some punches at some point in this fight, and that's the bottom line. It's not going to be a one-sided massacre with David just opening up, and I'm just like, hey, okay, David, just keep hitting me. I'm not going to be hitting you back. You know, David's going to have to take some punches, and then you're going to see how even the fight's going to be.
Where are you going to be training for this? Or are you going to be mixing it between Los Angeles and Las Vegas for sparring, or just all in Los Angeles? What's the plan?
No, all in California. All in California. And
Okay.
you know, that's where I live now, so all in California. And you know, there's going to be no excuses. We're going to get it right. This is my, you know, come of the hour again, come of the man. I've got to stand up, and I'm fighting at the door to my destiny. So, you know, I'm going to bring everything to the table. David Haye is definitely not an easy night, but who would want it to be easy when you're fighting for the heavyweight championship of the world? I don't. I want it as tough as possible, and this is as tough as possible, and I'm going to get the victory.
Well, you've worked towards this for 10 years. You know, there's been, and you mentioned it the other day, you've been in some dark old holes, and you've had to fight your way out on your own. And a lot of people, including David, you feel have walked away from you. Are you sensing now a sort of calm almost, that you can go back and train, that now it's going to happen? This is the fight. It's not the fight after this, or the fight after this, or the fight after this. This is it. Not necessarily the end of the journey, but maybe the start of the end of the journey, Audley.
Yeah, this is the door. You know, it's like even my dad said it, every 5 and 10 years, every 10 years or so, there's something major happening in my life, and I walk through the door. You know, 10 years ago was the Olympics, and 10 years before that was me coming out of a young offenders institution and going to college and starting boxing. And this now at 39, I'm at the door where nobody told me 12 months ago they said I was delusional, and I said I'd fight for a world title in 2010, and I'm now at that door. And I'm ready to walk through it. I've had my down nights. I've had the things where, you know, I haven't been able to perform, and people said, what's wrong with Audley? He's finished. And I've been able to dust off, learn the lessons, and come back stronger and wiser. So I've definitely had enough adversity in my life and in my career, and I'm still here. I'm not bitter. I'm not twisted. I'm very rational, very logical. Audley Harrison will be heavyweight champion of the world before I retire. That's what I've been saying. And now I'm at that door. I'm going to take it with both hands.
And of course, the difference is, say, between you and the Audley 5 years ago, or David Haye, is that in some ways, or this is, I hate to use the last chance saloon and all those kind of cliched expressions, but if you were to lose this, it's quite a ways back. I mean, I know you've lost before and you've come back, but this is you're losing you're losing here at a much higher level, and it would be a difficult journey back for Audley Harrison after, if you were to lose here, wouldn't it?
Well, I'm at the top of the mountain, and like I said, for me, as I said my last fight, losing is not an option. That's my mentality. There's no thinking about anything else. You know, when I went to the Olympics, and everyone said to me, you know, this is it. See, what people don't realise, things like the Olympic Games, things like the Commonwealth Games, things like fighting for a world title, there's no tomorrow.
Yeah,
you know, so you take a different mentality in than certain fights. And I know certain fights I haven't turned up, you know, with that mentality that I needed to have to get the victory. But when it comes to these kind of tournaments, just like prize fight, even though it's prize fight, just like the European title,
every fight's important. Yeah.
There's no tomorrow. And I've been, you know, for whatever reason, you know, the reasons I've said about out of the ring, the fighting. But the bottom line is, this is one of those scenarios where there is no tomorrow. When November the 3rd, there's no November 14th for me. See, David Haye's made his money. David Haye's achieved his goal. This is my goal, and there is no November 14th for me. I'm going to war, and I'm planning to come through the other side, and there's no if, buts, or maybes. You know, David's got to realise where I'm prepared to go into this fight, and I don't think David's going to be, when we're in that deep trenches, and it's going on and on, David's going to see how far I'm prepared to go to get my goal.
Yeah. And
it's to the edge. I'll tell you where it is. It's to where most fighters don't want to go. You know, it's all about where most fighters don't want to go. I fought with my one hand last time. That's where I'm prepared to go in this fight. So people need to realise how serious I am. I will be taking this fight to the edge. Whatever happens, David knows that I'm giving it everything to get a victory.
It's almost like a forbidden zone for fighters. It's what Audley used to call, I think, the black lights, when you was hurt and you knew you had to come back. You didn't know why, you just knew you had to come back.
Right, I'm not expecting to come through this fight without getting hurt. I'm not even expecting to go through this fight without getting knocked down, but I can know I'm getting up. And I know that when I knock David dead, he's going to have to get up. He's taking punches in this fight. That's all I know. He's not getting away scot-free. He's not hitting me, and I'm not hitting him. And I don't think David Haye is going to be able to handle my firepower from my left hand.
No, listen, Audley, you've been, you know what, you've had your critics, and I've been in that critical boat occasionally, not for the last 5 or 6 years though. Listen, Audley, get back to your family and have a safe passage through the next few days in London, and have a good journey back home to California. We'll see you late 26th of October or whenever it is when you're coming back.
No, remember the 26th of October is my birthday, so I'll be 39 years of age. The old man, the young man. Is he old or is he young? I'm definitely wiser, and I'm unbreakable. That's my spirit. That's how it's been through this career and this journey. And I'm still here, still talking, still believing. And 39-year-old Audley Harrison, the guy who, you know, 19 years old, started boxing, is going to shock the world once again. So it's going to be something special.
Audley converting people. I've seen it the last 2 or 3 days. Big Audley, thanks very much indeed. That's Big Audley there. As he says, no November 14th for me. You know what? People give Audley stick, and oh boy, no one used to give him more stick than me. That's because I didn't like the way he was coming in for fights. It was never to do with his talent, and never ever underestimate his talent. If you do, you face making a fool of yourself at some stage. Now